Hey, happy Tuesday, everyone. It's June 2nd, 2026. I'm Rich Tola, and here's what's cooking for today. 5 things for you today, guys. Number one, say goodnight, Gracie, or say goodnight, economy. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about the Gallup poll. Came out with a couple of new polls about the U.S. economic ratings, how they slid in May. No kidding. Number two, Bitcoin buyers beware. Well, the digital gold, what comes next? Guys, I've been trading it for 6 years, so I'll give you my thoughts as we're heading south. Number three, the Iran war. What comes next? Who knows? Number four, be accountable. Here's an article I read that I want to talk about taking accountability, responsibility for your actions and not being a victim. And number five, what's in a name? We're going to talk about the oldest name in America and a couple of fun facts today. But first, that's a loud one. How about this? The ABCs, all body workout, blissful sleep, colorful diet. How'd you do today, guys? Well, let me tell you, rough day yesterday, horrible night's sleep, all stressed out. I was trading like a banshee through the night, through the day. Rough day, you're trying to, survive. But again, you bounce back. Today, great night's sleep. Did well on the food. What did I have? Apple, banana, honey, oatmeal today, clearing out the veins. That's really good. And the workout, 30 minutes, really good. Nailed it. So I'm giving myself 3 checks after a 1.5 check day on a Monday. So don't despair. That was the other day we talked about that. It doesn't matter. You're having a rough day. Keep it going the next day. Don't ever give up. All right, Gallup. This is the voice of the world in numbers. I really like these. What I read with Gallup, I like what they put out. So let's go back to 1989. 1989, I graduated with my shiny new MBA from the Kellogg School of Management, Northwestern University up in Evanston. Beautiful campus. Give a shout out to my guys there. I had a great time there. I was 87 to 89. So in 1989, I went to work for Drexel Burnham in Beverly Hills. 75% of people rated the economy as excellent or good. Well, how about this? Today, 16%. That's in the gutter. It's the lowest point since April of 2023, which, by the way, Bitcoin was trading in the high 20,000s at that point, kind of making a run. And how about this? When they asked the people about the economic condition, is it better or worse? In 1989, they said 70% of people said it was better, right? Or economic. And today, 20%. Yeah, lousy. How about this? They asked about the satisfaction with the way the U.S. was going. 65% said, yeah, they're happy. Today, 21%. Well, good news is it could only get better. I don't think it could get any worse. And again, give a shout out to Gallup for that. I saw that in my inbox this morning. All right, Bitcoin. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Checked in this morning. It was what? Let me check. 68,400, some crazy number. Yeah, let me give it a quick look. Yeah, 68.4 going down. All right, guys, here's the thing. I made my first purchase. Let me give you a story. This was back in 2017. I was working in this restaurant in Burbank, California. And in the back of the restaurant, we had this machine. It was a Bitcoin machine. I didn't even know what Bitcoin was. I wasn't really raking in the dough back then. I'd committed all my money to making movies. But anyway, if you read my memoir, you'll see I went down to zero or below zero. But anyway, here I am working. These guys would come in and they would put $100 bills into the machine. Every week, someone would say, yeah, you got a Bitcoin machine here? I'm like, what is that? They would get a little piece of paper. And I'm thinking, $500, get a little piece of paper that I probably lose the thing. And he's like, I said, what is it? He's like, it's like digital. I'm like, nah, not for me. Well, flash forward. 6 years ago was when I bought my first Bitcoin at $1,200. I think a month later it went to $1,500. I sold it because I didn't understand it, didn't know where it was going. So here's the way I look at it. 10 years ago, it was like a baby. It was an infant, right? You bought it for whatever, even up till buying it for $500. That's like 9, 10 years ago. It was like a little child. Then it moves to a young child. 7 years ago, when it was trading around 10,000, that's like a young child. Then it moves into I guess you could say adolescence, right? And that was 4 years ago. It got to 60, 65,000, right? Wow. It's like, woo, we're a rock star adolescent. Then young adult, young adults start making all sorts of crazy mistakes, I guess. 2 years ago, but it ran up. It ran up to 126,000. But here's the thing. I still consider it a teenager. It's not a full adult yet. When all the coins are minted, 21 million in total, it's going to reach adulthood. So up until this time, what's the deal? When you're an adolescent, you're a young adult, who's in control? Your parents are in control. I see it as Wall Street. Wall Street's in control of it right now, determines whether it goes up or down. Hey, they want it to go down so they could buy it cheap, and they're going to run it back up. So Bitcoin, in my opinion, will get back to an all-time high. It's going to take 2 years, I believe. You're going to see it at maybe 150, 180. And who knows where it goes from there. But these crashes, will they keep occurring in the future? Hey, we can't predict the future, but you see a lot of people saying it's going to 50, it's going to 60, wherever. But these guys, I'm thinking now you got to follow the lead of the parents because the parents are controlling it. So guys, I got out yesterday. I was trading big and whatever. So I said, nah, let's get back in when it kind of settles down lower. So if you're like me and you're a believer in the long term of Bitcoin, it's going to be pretty soon a good time to jump back in. If you're buying in around 60, you're going to double your money, at least I believe, or triple. All right, the Iran war. But again, not giving you financial advice. I would never tell anybody to buy cryptos, but a long time ago, a guy called me the crypto cowboy because I had Doge. I had 1 million shares of Doge when it was up at 74 cents. Little did I know it'd come crashing down to 6 cents. But anyway, the Iran war. Guys, I did a show a little while ago, 3 months ago, and I said two things. Take Carge Island, and then I said, get out. I still believe in those. I think we should have taken Carge Island out of the get-go, or you got to move on because, again, I believe in what Donald Trump is doing, this country is doing. I believe in everything, the agenda, but what's happening now, it's like, again, you're dealing with an adversary that is just going to drag you out. I think we're going to be saying the same thing in September. I don't know if it does any good. So, hey, I'm going to sit tight and see what happens, but I really do hope. I mean, I'm not a fan of wars, but I hope this thing gets resolved because, hey, staycation, I talked about that because of the gas prices. I don't think most people are really affected by it. I truly don't think so, but hope it gets resolved soon and we're not sitting here watching paint dry. All right, how about this? Be accountable. Definitely want to talk about this, being accountable today, because I read this article. Let me see. Here it is. I read this paper, Epic Health. It's called The Character We've Lost, Lessons of Accountability in the Age of Excuses. Yeah, I read this article. This guy, I've read it before, Jeff Minnick. Give a shout out to Jeff. Excellent article, because this is what's happened. We make excuses. Hey, you guys want to read a good book? How to Drink from the Fountain of Youth. This one here, 2 steps. Step 15, never complain or make excuses. Hey, if you're losing money on Bitcoin, be accountable. You're taking the risk. Got to be accountable. Same thing. Your words, the words that you speak. Hey, if you offend people, you disrespect people, you got to be accountable. Yeah, maybe you can't rectify the situation. I had a good conversation with a friend of mine over the weekend who was saying, he lost contact with some people because they disrespected him. I'm like, hey, I totally get that. And step 23, embrace failure. Because, hey, when you fail, if you're the person, like, for instance, let's say you're in the obese category. It's unfortunate, but how did you get there? You got there by overeating. So you got to be accountable for that. Now, you could change that. You got to get with the ABCs for sure, but take responsibility. Don't complain about it. There's nothing to complain about. You did it to yourself. It's the same thing with anything, right? Words, actions. If you're doing it, take accountability. Be an adult. Hey, I taught for 5 years in these inner city schools. They're all about not taking accountability. They want to be a victim. Let's blame it on somebody else. That's why I'm all about the merit system. It's like, hey, you want to succeed, you got to work hard. You can't just give it to you just because based on some evening out of these numbers. That's crazy. Guys, you got to be accountable for your words and your actions. Be an adult. Whatever moves you're making, hey, when I'm losing 5,000 here or there. I'm taking accountability. I'm saying, hey, I'm doing what I can, but you got to be accountable. I think the world now, we become, we're like a lot of pansies out there, but be accountable. All right, let's get some good stuff here. What's in a name? I read this today. This is the oldest name in America. You guys know what this is? I'll tell you. 31% of people with this name are in their 80s. The average age, they say, is 84.3 with this name. And the most common age is an 88-year-old. Myrtle. No kidding. Myrtle is the oldest name in America. So if you're 88 years old, likely your name is Myrtle. What about my generation? I'm the baby boomers, guys. What is the most popular name of baby boomers? Linda. Everybody who's 60-something years old knows more than one Linda. I love that. All right, finally, let's wrap it up with this. I was a baseball player. Childhood, high school, college, University of Pennsylvania. Man, I love baseball. So any baseball fans out there? Well, then you know this. Who's the Bambino, the Sultan of Swat? George Herman Babe Ruth. He retired today in 1935. That's 91 years ago. He probably knew a lot of people named Myrtle. Played for 22 seasons. We know he was one of the first 5 guys in the Baseball Hall of Fame. And Babe Ruth, you want to see a good movie, a very heartfelt movie from his journey, from the orphanage to kind of how he kind of at the end there. 1992, called The Babe, John Goodman and Kelly McGillis. Remember that movie? Babe Ruth, lifetime batting average at 342. Most people don't know that. He was a good hitter. 714 home runs. We know that. I think he's in 3rd place, right? 488 strikeouts. So he's got 2-to-1 ratio strikeouts to look at the guys now. Back in the Mark McGwire days, they had more strikeouts than home runs for sure. It's the opposite. I think it was 2-to-1. And how about this? 2,873 hits for the Bambino with a slugging percentage of .690. So, guys, by today's standards, those numbers are unheard of. You're not seeing that anywhere. Give a shout out to Babe Ruth. He truly changed the game of baseball. And I wish I had a chance to see him play, but I think I will get a chance to see the Chicago Cubs play this year. I want to make my way up to Chicago for a game. All right, guys, that's it for today. As always, let's finish up with the 3 Tola takeaways. Got to do it. Got to respect the ABC. It's crucial for your well-being. Don't make excuses. If you do, take accountability for not being fit and strong and lean and mean. Number 2. What's number 2? Pick up the phone. Go see somebody. Spread your love today. Shine your light. We all have light inside us. Shine it to someone who could use it today. And finally, always be willing to accept another person's opinion. Just because it's not your opinion doesn't mean it's wrong. Guys, have an awesome day. Get your workout in. Peace.